Hello Pisces, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your August 2022 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Pisces? What do we need to know for you? Let me give it one more shuffle. Okay. We had the star. So a couple of the signs have gotten the star. What's important to understand about this is that it represents a constellation in the sky, okay? So when we apply the constellation to our life, we have to understand that our life is kind of like a constellation. We're going to have all of these different periods within our life. So when we look at the stars in a geometrical fashion, I think I used that word properly, whatever, we can see how stars connect to one another and form a constellation, right? So you are moving from one star to the next star, to the next star, to the next star. So that way you can complete this constellation of your life. So your divine spiritual path, your divine alignment right here, like who are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to be doing on this earth? So I kind of feel like you're moving from one stage to another stage in the month of August. And it's very important to understand is that Leo season is ruled by the sun, right? And the sun is a star. So you might be having some sort of like clarity, some sort of confusion cleared up within your life during the month of August. So I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this. This deck does have reversals. So what do we need to know for the sign of Pisces? Why is the star here? We have the Strength card, so Leo energy. We have the Two of Swords in reversed, and we have the Hierophant in reverse. So with this Strength energy, this does represent the angel of strength coming down to shut the mouth of the lions, like Daniel in the lion's den, right? This also represents you passing the first trial, kind of like Hercules slaying Leo the lion, passing the first trial to become a god. So when we look at the Strength card, we can see it from 2 different ways. We can see having physical strength or having protection, right? So with this Two of Swords right here, this does represent that you're seeing things clearly. You're no longer blindfolded to a situation. You're saying, you know what, I'm going to look at this situation. I'm going to see it for what it is. I'm going to take off this blindfold. I'm not going to be blocked off to it. I'm going to feel whatever pain I have to feel to move forward within my life. Because a lot of times, Pisces, you can choose to block yourself off with, drugs, alcohol, other addictions, sex, whatever it may be. So that way you can numb the situation. So that way the situation doesn't appear too bright for you. So that way you're not illuminated to it because you don't want to feel the emotion, right? So with this Hierophant in reverse, this does represent some form of authority right here, overreaching its authority. Because the Hierophant does represent the Pope in the original tarot deck, right? So the Pope rules the Vatican. And then, obviously the Catholic religion or Christianity is one of the largest religions in the world, or is the largest religion. So when we look at the Hierophant, it also represents structured organization. So it could be military, government, law, whatever. It's anything that has a hierarchy system behind it. But you're seeing some sort of authoritarianism behind this Hierophant, that something is not all, beautiful as it seems to be. There are actually deep, dark mysteries behind the Hierophant right here. So let's clarify this Strength energy. What do we need to know for you, Pisces? Why is the Strength card here? So the angel of strength could be protecting you from this Hierophant, could be showing you the dangers of this Hierophant. What do we need to know with this angel of strength? We had the Seven of Wands and the Judgment call. Okay. The Seven of Wands, something is blocking you off. So I do feel like this is protection right here. The Judgment is that you're being called up into a higher situation. This is the judgment call within Revelation. The angel's blasting its trumpets to call people into the rapture, call people out of their graves to go to heaven. Now, it's important to understand that some people will be judged on this earth, right? That's the whole point of judgment. So what I'm saying is that you're being blocked off to this situation. You're being blocked off to this judgment call. So you are protected in this with this Strength energy. So I do feel like the angel is coming to shut the mouth of the lion to protect you from this judgment right here. So ensuring your victory, ensuring that you can be called into the rapture and can be called into this higher state right here, can be called into this higher sense of being with this star energy, moving forward within your life so that way you can complete the constellation. So with this Two of Swords, let's see, what are you being illuminated to? The Seven of Cups with this Six of Cups, double clarification of Scorpio energy. So what you're seeing right here is that you've been fed a fantasy throughout your entire life, all right? And it could be from this Hierophant organization. Something right here is not true, but they've been giving it to you. And you're finally seeing things for what they are. The Seven of Cups represents a fantasy, and the Six of Cups is, this older brother giving this cup to his younger sister because he wants her to live in a fantasy. They're trying to have like a very special day where he's trying to cater to her. It could be like her birthday, where he's going to take her out and let her do whatever she wants, because during this time period, life is pretty grim, right? So obviously, he doesn't want her to know about gloom, doom, death, and despair. He wants her to be, his younger sister and have fun and be a princess, right? So you've been fed a lie, and now you're waking up to this situation. So let's look at this Hierophant energy. We have the Five of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles, making people fight for money. Well, this is a very kind of basic reading, poverty, fighting, keeps people in, a poor mentality, right? Poverty breeds violence, which then keeps people poor. So the Hierophant right here, obviously there are people fighting, but there is money being taken away. So King's gold is being moved from one place to another. So this could be through taxes, this could be government, this could be law. But you're waking up to this situation right here. You're being protected from this. Maybe you were going to get yourself involved with like a cult leader. Maybe a cult leader was trying to get you involved in the situation so they could have some sort of dominion and authority over you, so that way they could gain control of like your finances. Because that's important to understand about cult leaders, is that they try to gain control over every aspect of a human being's life. They try to gain control over their finances, their home, their resources, whatever. And in Eden Parish, they even took away their passports and their green cards and whatever they had, and so they were left with nothing. And most of the time, they couldn't even speak the language. So that's something that's important right here. You've been fed a lie. You've been fed some sort of cult energy. But you've been protected from it, and you saw things from a higher perspective because you were called up to see things from a higher perspective to move forward within your star. So this is a very strange reading for you, Pisces. I don't know why this is here. Maybe you're realizing this within the month of August. Maybe this is solidifying the situation. Maybe you're going to have a run-in with a cult leader who wants to gain control over you. The King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Five of Cups. So there is some sort of connection right here between the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So Leo energy and Aries energy. But there is some sort of emotional lack and emotional unfulfillment right here. So it's important to understand that the King of Wands is, driven by power. Same with the Queen of Wands. They're not necessarily married. Well, they're not necessarily together as a couple. They're married, but they run their own kingdoms. And that's what's important to understand, is that they're both considered witches within the tarot deck. They rule the concept of magic because that's what wands rule. They rule magic. So they rule the physical force. They can also be represented as soldiers, because the wands can be represented by guns in some tarot decks. And as we move forward, right, because the wand is a representation of a weapon. A magical weapon, but still a weapon. It can also be represented as, the male genitals, and the cups be represented by the female genitals. So what I'm saying right here is that two very domineering energies are finding emotional lack and disbelief within a situation. However, behind them, there are still two cups that are left up that they can do something with. They're crying over spilled milk right here. But there are still two cups in the backgrounds that are very important. So let's clarify some more right here. Ten of Swords with the Chariot. So some sort of mental death, but through this mental death, there is a victory. There is a giant victory right here, because the Chariot represents overcoming death and also cheating death in a way. Because remember, the Chariot is represented by the prophets in the Bible who never died. They're brought up into heaven, right? So they essentially cheated death. Now, it is appointed unto men once to die, so it's said that they may come back down and be the people who preach at the Wailing Wall, and then that way they can die. However, in the grand scheme of things, a chariot comes out of the sky and delivers a massive victory. He's also kind of like an angel. He comes down, his chariot lands on the ground and says, I give this side victory, this side can't do anything about it. And that's kind of representation of what's happened in the Bible multiple times. Angels have just come down and said, you lose. So right here, you have a victory over this mental death, this mental defeat. You're feeling very emotionally lacking right here. You have the Three of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. So what's important to understand is that these 3 cups have fallen out within this Three of Cups energy right here. But that is the victory in this situation. You're being called up from celebrating with these people right here. You should not be celebrating with these people, Pisces, whoever it is within your life. I kind of feel like there's a group of people who are dragging you down in a situation, and the best thing that could happen is that you have this swift mental death, you have this quick discovery, you have the cups falling out, and then you have this victory, okay? But how does it tie into this, though? How does this scenario tie into this? That's what I'm kind of confused about. So I'm going to use a different deck. Hold on. Let me give this one a quick shuffle. So the King and Queen of Wands are very busy people. They run their own thing. Yes, they are married to one another, but they do rule the concepts of witchcraft. They do rule the concepts of, you know, mysteries, of being magicians. But they're not having some sort of emotional happiness. There's a swift mental death, but a victory. The 3 cups fall out, and you have a victory over that. So double clarification of a victory, though. You have the Lovers, you have the 2 of Skulls, you have the 3 of Skulls, and you have the Empress. So how this situation connects, it's a divine connection. Something from your past to something from the future right here. So the Lovers is bridging this. Like, there's a divine connection. I don't understand it. Maybe you do within your life. This 2 of Skulls is saying that this situation has to be equalized, right? This situation right here has to be equalized within your life. Maybe this person has taken control and advantage of other people. So it could also be that there are 2 people who are using their magical powers to cause people to have emotional lack, to cause people to, you know, give up certain situations within their lives, to follow them, to, you know, have them under control right here. Maybe you wanted to be a part of this group and they didn't let you be a part of this group. Maybe you just didn't fit in or whatever it is. Maybe that's a swift mental death, but that's ultimately the victory because the people who are involved in this, their cups do spill out beneath the King and Queen of Cups feet right here. So that is the victory. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the Hierophant, it can be anything within your life, all right? It doesn't always have to be a cult. This could be a job situation. This could be a friend group. This could be, you know, you trying to connect with people around your age right here, but you just can't do that. There always seems to be, you know, those hyper-dominant people within a friend group who always control everything. And maybe within this friend group, you just didn't fit in, and therefore they didn't want you around. But that's ultimately a victory for you. The 2 of Skulls is saying that the situation will be balanced. The 3 of Skulls with the Empress represents, you know, the 3 of Skulls is people coming to you to want some sort of craftsmanship. It represents spinning the straw into gold. It can also represent crafting an arch, and people see your great handiwork right here and they want to move you forward. They're saying, I want to hire you for more projects. With this Empress energy, though, which is a little confusing, it could be that you're known throughout the land because of your work right here. Or someone of high authority is wanting to work with you in this situation. The Queen of Skulls and the 9 of Grails. So someone is wanting to give you some sort of money. Someone is wanting to pay you for a situation right here. And the 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So here's the thing, Pisces. You're going to receive a wish. That's what's important, okay? You have double clarification of victory. You have an emotionally upsetting situation right here that you just do not connect with. You want to be a part of it, but you can't be. You're being blocked off to a situation. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. Other people are fantasizing and taking sips of these poison cups. However, their cups are going to fall out. This kind of represents like they drink the cup and then they pass out, right? And also fair weather friends. Like after they're done drinking your wine, they no longer want anything from you, so they drop the cup and walk away from you. So the universe is protecting you from fair weather friends, fair weather people. People who only want to use you for certain situations. Maybe you're learning the concept of discernment right here. Focusing on yourself, balancing out situations for yourself right here. Working on your own Three of Skulls, working on your own craft, spinning the straw into gold. Because this does represent that another card of witchcraft, working on your own thing, right? The story of Rumpelstiltskin was that the girl could spin the straw into gold. She really couldn't. I believe it was Rumpelstiltskin who did it for her, but that is the concept behind it. You have an ability to do something right here, so hone in on it. You could become very famous with this skill. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who's fertile, abundant, and nurturing to you, and you do receive a wish in the end. You receive this payout, a very large payout, potentially. Lord of Scepters, Seven of Grails, and the Three of Scepters. The Lord of Scepters coming out again with this fantasy energy, with this Three of Scepters. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's all just a fantasy. You're wondering why this fantasy doesn't come to you. You're waiting for this fantasy to arrive. You're waiting for one of your cups to be filled up. Because here's the thing. Sometimes the Seven of Cups does have a true cup inside of it. There is one cup that represents eternal life. So maybe that cup of eternal life is being brought to you, and all you have to do is stand on the side of the cliff and wait for that to be brought in for you. So it doesn't always have to be a fantasy. It can just be representation of something from your wildest dreams. Like you want something to happen. It's actually plausible that it can happen, and it's being brought to you. That's what this Nine of Cups is, and this Queen of Grails represent maybe you being paid out right here. Receiving some sort of gift. So this could be, you're receiving a promotion. This could be you receiving a raise, a salary increase. It allows you to get over this Five of Cups energy, though, this Ten of Swords. I want to peer more into that energy. The Four of Cups with the Chariot. Yeah, because you don't want the cup. That's the thing. The universe is trying to make sure that you don't receive this cup right here because it doesn't want you to lose. So it's trying to take this cup or trying to put you in a sleeping state so that way you don't take this poisoned cup from these people. So that way you don't fall into whatever this is, this thought process, this ideology. So that way you can be brought up into the sky right here. By you turning down a situation, by you choosing not to hang out with certain people, by you choosing to elevate yourself to get out of this funk, I feel like that is the best victory for you. Maybe you get sick one day and you can't go out. Maybe you fall asleep early, you can't go out. Whatever this is, the Chariot is working for you. So if you do feel like you need to take a nap, take a nap. Don't try to power through it, right? By you not accepting this cup right here, this is your best interest, in your best interest. Yeah, the Ten of Skulls coming out. Because I kind of feel like that's what's being brought into you, is that the universe is wanting this to come out for you, this patronizing situation, where you're building your own business, where you're focusing on yourself, where you're moving away from this group of friends that has this hierarchy situation where it's like, always trying to dominate you, always trying to control you, always have this drama. And, I want to look at this Hierophant energy because this is a very important card. You have the Strength card coming out in the Hierophant. It doesn't always have to be cult. It doesn't always have to be, work. But it seems like it's very important and critical to your life right here. Like, this is a very big deal, Pisces. I want to know what this Hierophant is. Well, I just dropped that. It's the Three of Swords, so this Hierophant is a Three of Swords situation, so something that's left you emotionally lacking in the past, right? The Five of Swords, something that backstabbed you and emotionally betrayed you. And the Hierophant again, yeah. So the Hierophant backstabbed you and emotionally betrayed you in the past. That's what's important to understand. So you kind of got screwed over at a job. You kind of got screwed over at whatever you were doing. So now you're receiving some sort of payout, some sort of payment for this, because you didn't fall in line and drink the cup like everyone else. You're wondering why you couldn't have this cup, but here's the thing. You couldn't have the cup because the universe took it away from you. The universe was like, no, you can have this swift mental death, you can feel sorrowful, you can feel whatever, but here's the thing, I have something more important for you planned out. I kind of feel like you're working on your craft. You have this Empress energy right here. This Empress energy is like, being well known within your land. People want to pay you. It's a wish come true. You're doing what you want to do right here. A cup is being brought to you. That's important. You don't really have to do anything for it. It's just being brought towards you. The Chariot is always going to block you off from things and give you this victory. So see it as a victory. Don't see it as like a betrayal right here, because you're still moving on to the next phase within your life. You're still moving on with this starlight energy, okay? The High Priestess, see it from a higher perspective, hindsight being 2020. You're going to look back on it 5-10 years from now and think, man, I'm so glad I just finally decided to do whatever this situation was and I didn't fall in line with that cult right there. So let's look at your Awakened Oracle cards. I feel like the Hierophant looks nice, it's glitzy and glamorous, but it's just filled with a bunch of toxicity. Like, here's what you have to understand, okay? A lot of people want to work for like government organizations. A lot of people want to work for those things. They want to feel like they're doing something. They want to feel connected, right? There are some of the shittiest people who work in those organizations, okay? They will backstab you, whatever they can do, so that way they can maintain power, okay? You have to understand, people want positions of authority within these situations because they want to protect themselves. They want to protect their family. They want to have status. They want to have, whatever it is. Most people within the government or within any of these organizations do not care about you, and they will cut you down so they can simply get what they want, all right? So if you were in a situation like this, then be very glad that you weren't one of the people who just, got fucked over in the end, because they will fuck people over who've been in there for 20, 30 years. Light as Matter and Air Force. Air Force doesn't actually represent the Air Force, although it could. So with this Light as Matter, what you need to understand is that the angels are alchemizing situations. Angels are coming in, or whatever this is, speed bumps within your life are being realized, okay? You're being slowed down, or the angels are coming in. They're light beings, but they're manifesting into reality to stop a situation from happening. This Air Force energy represents, if you feel shivers, if you feel like the hair blowing through your air, the hair blowing through the air blowing through your hair, if you feel some sort of like, at peace moment where you can breathe deeply, pay attention to that. Focus on your manifestations. Focus on your thought process. And when I say manifestations, I'm really like, what do you want? Focus on that. Focus on how you can attain those things. What are you going to do? How are you going to move towards your dreams right here? So let's look at the Spellcasting Oracle. What do we need to know? But also the Chariot could be illuminating with the Four of Cups and hand delivering you a cup while you're asleep. That's something that's also very important to understand with the Four of Cups, is that it's not always about having, like, being haughty, like sitting there thinking, well, I don't want this fourth cup from the universe. I have 3 cups in front of me. Sometimes it's that you're actually asleep and a cup just surprises you. Like, you're okay living your boring life. You're like, okay, whatever, it's fine. Just doing everyday things, and all of a sudden you have this new opportunity and you're like, oh, wow, okay, cool. It just pops up and appears. You have family and you have beauty. Focus on your beauty right here. Focus on your family. I feel like that's very critical, okay? So, drink water. Pay attention to your skin. Pay attention to who you are. What makes you beautiful? What makes you feel beautiful? With this family energy, you could have, like, inherited really good genes from your family. Like beauty genetics. But I also see with this family energy is that you could also be escaping a situation in a toxic family environment, okay? You have death, the eternal cycle begins here, and the lamp, remembrance. So death right here, something is coming to an end, all right? Like, something has come to an end or something is coming to an end in August. The lamp, remembrance. Remember the light, though. Remember to see the light. Remember that song by Johnny Cash, I Saw the Light? That's kind of what the lamp represents right here. Remember, the hermit holds the lamp, and he illuminates people in the darkness. So if you feel like you're having some sort of dark night of the soul energy, if you just feel completely lost in a situation, sit down, think about it, and let the hermit come to you, because that's the whole point of the hermit, is that he wanders in the woods and he finds people who are lost. He just wanders around. He's like, oh, there's a lost person. Let me help this person out. And he shows you the way to get out of the woods. He shows you some sort of illumination to your life. How can you get out of this situation? Pay attention to the lamp. And I feel like you're going to be remembering something right here. Something from your past. Let's look at that. We have ghost, regret. You're going to remember some sort of regret from your past right here. You're going to have some sort of regrets. The hermit is illuminating something from your past and it makes you regretful. One more card. Black cat, fortune meets opportunity. Maybe you lost out on something and maybe that's coming back in for you right now. Or maybe you're just feeling the regret from your past and that's what's holding you back. It's like you're looking back at things thinking in a regretful manner. But here's the thing, fortune meets opportunity with this black cat energy. So you have death, the eternal cycle begins here, ghost, regret. It's also important to understand is that the, what's the name? The hermit is also a representation of an apparition or a ghost. So a ghost could be trying to talk to you. So a ghost of a family member, a deceased loved one, you know, something like that. Pay attention to these things. If you see a black cat, don't be scared during this time period. I know some people see them as bad omens. They try to kill them. But, like, don't do that. That's, like, really stupid. That's a really, really stupid superstition. Like, people saw cats as witches' familiars, and that's the reason the bubonic plague started. They killed off all the dogs and cats, and then boom, there were rats everywhere who carried fleas, and all those fleas killed people because they killed like 400,000 cats and dogs. They were going on witch hunts trying to kill all the cats and dogs. They're like, witches' familiars, and then, you know, so don't do that kind of stuff. Pay attention to these kinds of things. So we have newt, urgency, we have black hound, foreboding, and we have spider, deception. So these witches' familiars are trying to help you during this time period. So do things with urgency right here. If you have a call to make that call. If you have to submit an assignment, submit that assignment. This black hound foreboding energy, you might feel some sort of foreboding energy within August. Here's the thing, though, with this deception spider. It could be that this foreboding energy is a deception, but pay attention to deception with this spider. Maybe you have to be a little bit tricky right here. Maybe you have to see things from a higher perspective, see people, you know, trickery behind the mask. I want to clarify this foreboding. The Two of Wands, you can see something coming in. So some sort of energy is coming in for you. The Justice energy. So you see justice, you see things being balanced out. You see the King of Cups right here. King of Cups balanced out with justice and this Two of Wands. That could be the king trying to give you this cup right here, or being forced to give you this cup, this deception energy, the Fool. So you're having a brand new beginning, a blank slate. So I kind of feel like you're having this feeling of like the worst thing is about to happen, but I feel like you're actually getting something really good out of it. You're getting a blank slate, a new start in life. So that could be the deception. When you feel the foreboding energy, don't allow it to just be anxious. I feel like something really good is coming for you. Something is being balanced out with this King of Cups energy, and it's the Fool, all right? So let's look at your, what are these? Rune cards. Your emotions can sometimes play tricks on you. So let me pull one card for this newt, urgency energy, Nine of Cups. Yeah, so if there's a situation within your life you have wish fulfillment, or if there's something that you're working on as a wish, focus on that. Give that your urgency right here, okay? Make that phone call. Do what you have to do, but a wish is coming in for you. And it's coming in quickly, it looks like. You have Gebo, gift, success, happiness, union, and obligation, spiritual meaning, karma, and inner equilibrium. So Gebo and gift with this justice energy, something is being divinely given to you. Something is karmically meant to occur for you. Something is being balanced out. So let's look at your talisman cards. So overall, a good reading for you, Pisces. We have Rado, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. So you are going to receive good news. You're going to find your spiritual way. Speed your journey from one point of the star to the next point of the star and ease a transition. It's not going to be, this bumpy ride anymore. I feel like it's kind of like smooth sailing for you if you just pay attention to what's going on. Don't be deceived right here. So anyway, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.